person. And I think let's look into this manner. I mean, Congress's whole agenda right now is looking faults between Shiv Sena and BJP, not looking back what they could have done and what they didn't do.
Abhishek Singhvi, will I answer your question?
Pranay, yes. Pranay, first of all, let us be assured that if we do as badly as you suggest, we will very deeply look into it. But let me remind you and the viewers, there are only 3 states in India which have gone on for 15 years, not 10 years with one government. 2 are Congress, Maharashtra and Delhi, Sheila Dikshit and the Congress chief ministers. The third is Mr. Modi himself in Gujarat. After 15 years, anti-incumbency is huge, enormous. No other state has done it. However, the point remains that it's only those who do exaggerated, hyperbolic claims. They are the ones who are made to perhaps eat it. We never claimed that there is a Congress wave in Maharashtra. Somebody else, the BJP, did, and they claimed a Modi wave, and they claimed a 144 so easily. That's the question I'm asking. Losing or being the single largest party for the BJP or the Congress is a different issue.
So that's true. They haven't claimed even their performance of Maharashtra.
Very interesting.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Because what Dr. Singhvi is suggesting is that after 15 years, the Congress is reconciled to always becoming the third party. That's a sort of a new rule which is coming. Has implications for Assam, you know.
No, but Abhishek Singhvi,
ostrich in the sand. Anybody will be ostrich in the sand to suggest that after 15 years winning is easy. But then those who lose on the 4th time are also the ones who have ruled for 15 years, and you added another possible state, Assam, to Delhi and Maharashtra. Each of the 3 times when they voted for the Congress, I don't think you insult the intelligence of the Indian electorate that they were fools.
Right, but apart from just the pure probability of not winning a 4th term in any election, wouldn't you admit that the last 5-year government of the Congress in Maharashtra has been bordering on appalling governance that is full of corruption?
Let me set the record straight.
Right.
I think that the governance in both Haryana and Maharashtra has been from well above average to good. A lot of infrastructure and solid work has been done. Let me equally candidly admit that in Maharashtra we have had not only real but a perception of corruption also, both things, and that has been unfortunately mostly attributable to our coalition partner. That has got us a bad press, that has got us negative points. Some of it has been Congress related, but the overall impact has been negative. It has perhaps in the last few months and year submerged a lot of good solid work done in infrastructure. The Bombay sea link is an example, but there are many more. The real growth in Maharashtra, the enormous growth in Haryana. Haryana always said that we are growing far ahead of Gujarat. But along with that, a certain set of scams or either perceptual or real, I do admit, that has starred our image, but the single biggest reason remains, Pranay, and let's not beat around the bush, huge anti-incumbency after 15 years, which is not entirely unnatural.
So how much of this, Siddharth Varadarajan, is just anti the Congress? It's a fact. After 15 years, there's only a 10% probability of winning an election. This is the Modi impact on these elections.
But I think you have multiple factors working here. It's interesting that in Maharashtra, the Congress and NCP have done slightly better than what they did in this election than what they did in the Lok Sabha election. So there is some reversion to norm in the sense that if the Lok Sabha election of 2014 was an unusual one in that you had a Modi wave, state elections are fought on state level issues, and so there is some reversion to norm. So clearly the performance of the Congress NCP is judged by voters to be not as bad as what the Lok Sabha figures suggest.
You're saying, you're saying NCP Congress doing better than Lok Sabha and BJP Shiv Sena doing worse than they did in the Lok Sabha.
Especially when you equal, I mean, now that you have all alliances, all bets are off in a sense, right?
Right.
But having said that, I think it's very clear that voters in Maharashtra wanted a change. The BJP tried to capitalize on that and say, okay, we may be in a position to form a government on our own, hoping that the Modi factor, which was so dominant although it worked through an alliance in the Lok Sabha election, would carry forward and help the BJP Singhvi. That hasn't been the case, at least not to the extent to which the numbers are suggesting. Things may still change. BJP will have to go back to the Shiv Sena, to have a government. But I think that for Mrs. Singhvi to suggest that the record of governance in Maharashtra and Haryana is average to good, I think flies in the face of reason. I mean, quite going beyond the 15-year anti-incumbency factor. Allegations of the perception that these two governments were corrupt. Haryana, he spoke about Haryana being a well-administered state, but I think the fact that till its dying days, the Huda government was trying to cover up the Vadra land transactions. Documents are coming out, all kinds of evidence is coming out. Indian Express has been reporting a lot of this about how the regularization was something that was quite improper.
Would you say in Haryana, where the BJP has no real local leadership of any importance, that there it has been a central impact, the Modi impact? Because
no, clearly. I mean, I think.
But in Haryana, in Maharashtra, they do have a local leadership which will have played a part.
They have a local leadership and a history of being present there for. In some ways, it goes well. I mean, much earlier than the.
But Haryana is just.
Haryana was virgin territory, but I think that the proximity to Delhi, Modi factor, the land issue. I think the perception that Huda was favouring mostly Rohtak and Gurgaon regions. I think all of this worked to help BJP and damage the Congress.
Also, Congress, a lot of infighting all the time.
Right, exactly.
7, 8 years.
Selja versus Huda.
Exactly, for years they've been at it. The three great families of Haryana, the Devilals, the Bansilal and the Bhajanlal. Devilal and Bhajanlal, all the family members are trailing. Bansilal's two, who are relatively low profile, Ranveer Singh and Kiran Chaudhary, are leading. Both. I mean, these dynasties have ruled except for small periods. Right. They've ruled Haryana since it became a state.
Right.
So, but one thing which is very interesting as far as Maharashtra is concerned is that while it's true that the regional dimension is certainly not as insignificant as some would have suggested it, what I think is very important is that this election was an occasion, one of those very rare occasions when each of these political parties tried to test what is their relative strength. And they have all been victims or gainers from the logic of the first past the post system. So these figures, whatever be, are in a sense completely unnatural and are unlikely to be ever repeated, because I don't think ever in the future we're going to see five-cornered contests of this nature again. So this is in many ways a freak result because of the first past the post system.
Very true, very true. I'd like to just make one more. If we have a look at the Leeds position in Maharashtra compared to the Vidhan Sabha last time, you'll see an interesting trend that is emerging. The BJP 118 compared to the Shiv Sena 56. But look at the change since the Vidhan Sabha. The BJP is up 70 and the Shiv Sena up only 12. The Shiv Sena improvement has been very, very little. The BJP has more than doubled. Why is that? Why is it that the Shiv Sena has not done as well as the BJP in this election?
So I think there's obviously the Modi factor, but I think Modi factor also as a metaphor for voters. Mr. Modi said something quite significant in, I think, one of the Haryana rallies, where he said that for his economic plans to work, he needs